This is Director of Photography Marlon Green, the Hall of Famer, urging you to stay positive in this world of negativity. This interview session of the show is about Donald Trump and how he can help fix his current situation. What I see is the real problem is that he has hired too many Jews and it has come back to bite him in his ass. And so the reason why I say that is because they are not letting him rest at all. And he is not going to get much done. He has an ego problem, but they all have an ego problem. They just destroys it or display it when it's convenient for them. And we all know who colluded. And what I think what happened was they were trying to set the president up from the beginning by making the pitch and planting the evidence themselves. In other words, they, like when they say that the Russians said that they have some potentially damaging evidence, that's just the pitch. That don't mean that they had it. They just trying to get something, start something was happening. And what happened was that, Vladimir Putin had exposed her on the Benghazi shit, and they don't like that. And as far as Julian Assange, I don't know if he's still a part of the Illuminati, all of this exposure that he did. And I know that some people have been in Illuminati, and a lot of them have been defecting lately. A lot of them been defecting, and some of them they've been actually dying and for abandoning them and shit. So they're mostly the bankers, because the bankers had a high concentration of those types of guys. And if you do any research, you'll find out that a lot of those guys that was dealing with Hillary was coming up dead. And so we know she sold those weapons to the Libyan rebels. And look what they did, Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying? So, looking at that, I could only emphasize more. We need to stay up out of them white folks beef. Because if Asians and the white folks beefing, that ain't none of our business. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, what's going on is internally, the Republicans and the GOP, they not protecting Donald Trump like they supposed to. Nobody filed the Freedom of Information Act. He's the president. All of that information in detail will come to him. Obama, we already know Obama did some kind of he couldn't get the live tap, and so he tracked it through the phone records and got the data from the phone records from the phone company. And also, while he was distracted and hiring the wrong people, they were also distracting him to plot on him to get him investigated, to slow the Hillary investigation down. But Hillary has more experience than he has in the law arena. And Hillary works on the UCC level. That's how she can do a lot of shit. So if you're going to get a lawyer, you better go get a UCC lawyer. Because fighting people like Hillary in court is going to be difficult. That's their fucking profession. And so it's going to be a nasty administrative fight. But what's going to happen is the Democrats are not going to survive this failure of the GOP either. It's going to be a Paris victory at best. You know what a Paris victory is, right? A victory you won, but you barely won and too damaged or injured to really risk another war or fight that could very well end your whole existence. And so looking at that, and I'm looking at the low rate that America is producing, and I'm looking where America is spending their money at, it's just not going to add up. I don't see how America is going to ever get out of debt at the rate that we spending with the military-industrial complex. It's just not going to happen. Any little thing is going to spark the military-industrial contract. Any little thing in the media gonna spark the military-industrial complex. The key to winning that is keeping their budgets low and outperforming them on an economic level. You don't have to match the U.S. toe to toe, eye to eye, gun for gun, because we all have shit. All our countries have things that can just dismantle this whole planet one episode. So I'm trying to avoid that the best that I can. But I'm having a feeling that I'm being way too limited on some areas, critical areas like that. And so, you know, people need to realize what's going on and realize this is no bullshit here. And so to get them FBI, they're going to keep interviewing them, questioning them, and all that shit. You're going to have to toughen that out and delegate more tasks to capable people. It's not wrong to have a lot of your family members in the presidency, because I know you have to have people that you can trust. And I know you still have to raise your kids, and I know you still have to teach them things. But harboring up all of the opportunity and giving it to the GOP, and they're not protecting you, that's a bad sign. You giving your enemies power over you, Mr. Trump. So file that Freedom of Information Act and start trying to hire better minorities. And you know, if we would have had money before now, we could have been filing lawsuits on your adversaries and oppositions. But we don't have the financial being to do that. That's a lot of money, and we need a lot of administrative work taken care of, and it's just not working the way it's going. I'm sorry, you know, and it's my duty as a citizen to at least tell you about where you're fucking up at, because you're making everybody's life miserable. And so file that Freedom of Information Act on the entire investigation, slow that shit down, and by the time you put that in, you'll be figured out the next move. And so, you know, I don't know how to stop the FBI from investigating you other than avoiding it altogether. But Hillary has launched her investigation before the before the election was over. Hillary launched her investigation. I would have filed a lawsuit and launched the investigation on Hillary and them to slow their shit down, because that's how they play. I don't just go filing lawsuits. It's got to be really, really fucked up for me to file a lawsuit. I got to be really, really desperate to file a lawsuit, because it takes a lot of time and preparation to do that. And unless you have a lot of time set aside with that shit, it's going to go into your family life, your personal life, your health, and all of this shit. So most people can't handle this shit. And I don't rather be doing all the administrative work, fighting for things that I should already have. And so basically, that's what I'm saying. You know, it is what it is. I'm not making no excuses for y'all, but y'all need to do a better job at understanding where we coming from. Because y'all been borrowing my ideas in Hollywood and everywhere else for a while now, and I haven't made anything. So don't get mad if I hit you, if I pinch you a little bit in court, because I don't file frivolous lawsuits like Hillary and Bill Clinton, and I don't file for bogus investigation like Bill and Hillary Clinton. And so you can trust me any day with your money. You can't trust Hillary and Bill with your money at all. They'll take your money and put you in jail. They the ones who got these fucking cops this corrupt, giving them above the law powers. Man, they need to get up off that shit, man. Times are changing, and you white folks cannot win no war without the African Americans, and we staying out of y'all and the Asians' beef. Because y'all trying to take they shit, and we not getting in the middle of that, helping y'all take they shit so they can be like us. I'd rather for them folks to have their nuclear weapons, because I don't want them being fucked over like me. I know what's better. I'm here. I'm living in the shit. I know what's better. They can't tell me nothing about my country. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, with that being said, I don't have nothing else to say.